Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bouncing Back with Brighton. In today's episode we are going to face Stoke City, who currently sit in third position in the Sky Bet Championship. We'll also face Charlton Athletic, who are bottom of the league at the time of playing. So we'll see how we get on. There has been 0 games since the last time we met, and of course nothing happened in the January transfer window. There was a couple of offers, and I mean a really good couple of offers came in for Mike Lacey. Now you might remember this guy. He was the 5-star potential, that guy that we got in our first youth intake. Manchester United made a £12.75 million offer for him in this window. Of course, that was plenty of offers building up to 12 million. But all that says to me is that we might have a pure gem on our hand if Man United are offering that sort of money. So keep an eye out on him. He will probably be in the first team before you know it. But that takes us to today's game, where we will be facing Stoke City. They are obviously having a very good season themselves. Recently relegated the season before we are failing to get back into the Prem. They did make a signing on January transfer window day. Chancel Mbemba from Porto, I believe he was at after leaving Newcastle. A decent centre-half, but I think we've got better. They're of course going to have a decent side for sitting third in the league, challenging Southampton for that second place spot. But we should have enough to beat them today, I would think, at home. This is how we're going to start. Jack Butland will be in goal. Jayden Bogle, John Souttar, Oscar Cabezas and Alex Martinez in defence. Tudor Beluta, Scott McTominay, Anthony Knockaert, Jack Grealish and Ben Woodburn in the midfield, with Dejan Joveljic leading the line. So they do come at us with a 4-1-2-3. Vincent Janssen, Spurs player, or former Spurs player, £6.5 million they signed him for. He's not having the greatest of seasons. We'll see how we get on against him today. So we are, of course, in the blue and white, shooting from left to right against Stoke. Again, we have the better side than these do. We just do. Particularly with our wingers, we are playing incredibly well. As Knockaert comes forward here in the box already, manages to get cleared by the Stoke City midfield. There's the highlight done, so it's not leading to anything. But yeah, we've got the better side. Whether we play better on the day or not is another matter. I always recognise Verlinden's name as a player with good potential on this year's game. A right midfielder, Belgian, always decent. But he's not the finished product right now, so I'm not too worried about him. I was a little bit disappointed without my January transfer window. You know, I went in with hopes of signing all these upgrades for all these positions, which I thought could use an upgrade, but unfortunately the players just weren't out there, and I didn't really want to waste me money on signing just anybody. And that was the worst first half ever. Let's kick out for the second half. Shooting from right to left this time. Let's see if we could maybe have 1 or 2 highlights in this game. 65 minutes in, still no highlights to speak of. Ben Woodburn come off for Billy Accra. Arthur, he's just returned on loan from a loan spell, and he looks very, very good. His mentals are a little bit weak, but he fills the squad, doesn't he? We'll bring on Bissouma on for Tudor Beluta, and that'll save us with 1 substitution for the remaining 25 minutes in case of injury. We are going to go attacking here. This is absolutely woeful. Not one single highlight during this game. Is it going to happen? Has it ever happened on one of my series where I've never had a highlight? Oh well, doesn't matter anymore. He's won. Bissouma with a good challenge on Vokes in the midfield. Arsa, I mean, was that a highlight worthy? Was that really highlight worthy? It was a good challenge. Another highlight with 2 minutes remaining, and it's actually Stoke who are in possession, but Bissouma once again winning the ball in midfield. It knocks it out wide to Anthony Knockaert. He's got support from Bogle. Back inside of Bissouma. I mean, what is that? What was that? Was that the highlight? Really? We'll manage to get a corner from it. Anthony Knockaert to take it. It's cleared straight away. It doesn't beat the first man. And you would imagine this will probably be the end of highlight. Or maybe not. Bogle with a big clear and sends Arsa in the box. I'm not sure how to pronounce his name, but he gets a goal on his first start for me. An absolute nothing ball from Bogle. You'll see it here. He just boots it. Just hitting hope, really. What turns out to be one of the best passes of the season. And it's a lovely bring down by Billy. Let's call him Billy. And at the second time of asking, he puts it in the back of the net. That's absolutely delightful stuff. 89th minute winner. Or was it a winner? Another highlight straight away. 3 highlights within 5 minutes. We're being spoilt by the game. Jack Grealish coming forward. Finds Knockaert in the box. And what an absolute finish that is. Anthony Knockaert with his 20th goal 12th goal of the season. We are going to make a change, bringing on McTominay off for Onuma. His 12th goal of the season, a nice assist by Jack Grealish as well. Good to see him getting involved in the game, despite him being a moody little get. What's the absolute thunder strike? There's no keeper saving that. He just falls over rather than attempts to save it, which is probably the wiser choice. Brighton 2, Stoke 0, 3 points against one of our major rivals. And yeah, I mean, it was a poor first half, poor second half, but fortunately we've managed to come through it okay. And there it is, full time, 2-0, 3 points, happy days. Jack Grealish unfortunately has picked up another injury. He's out for 8 weeks. I don't think it classes him as injury prone, but he's had so many injuries for me. When did we sign him? January 2019, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 injuries in a year. And they're not little either, 6 weeks, 2 weeks, 4 weeks. This one's 8 to 9 weeks. Is that mine as well? Yeah, 3 weeks as well. It's not good enough. Anthony Knockyard getting man of the match for that goal. Absolutely fantastic stuff. But that Billy goal as well was the one to break the deadlock. And for him never actually playing a game for me, it was nice to see him getting a goal. I think where did he go out on loan? Emelec. Where's Emelec? Ecuador, of course. 16 goals in 27 games for them he got this season. So coming back in, he's a man in form, and at 21 years old with a bit of potential, maybe I should give him some game time. Unfortunately, he does prefer to play a winger and we play inside forwards, but I don't mind just giving him game time there, you know. Well, that's enough of that. I'll get to the Charlton game and I will see you there. And we're back. It is game day. We are going to face Charlton Athletic in today's game. In terms of the formation they play, it looks like the 4-2-3-1 with the deep defensive midfielders. Is it a formation we've struggled against in the past? I don't think it is. I think it's something that we should be absolutely fine with. We're going to start Bogle at right back, and I think, is this going to be the team? No, Dejan Jovalic is unhappy, by the way, because I didn't sign anyone in the January transfer window, and he now wants to leave. So he's been here 2 minutes, he's kicking up a fuss, but I'll talk him round, he'll be fine. Jack Butland's going to start in goal, Bogle at right back, Sutar Cabasas at centre back with Martinez at left back, Tudor Baluta and Scott McTominay in the midfield with Anthony Knockyard and Billy's on the wings. Alex McAllister in attack midfield and Dejan Jovalic will lead the line for today's game. And they are playing that formation with the two deep lying central midfielders. Let's see how we get on. We are away from home, but they are struggling in the league. So you would expect a dominant performance, but that's not always how it ends up. Highlight now, Reeves down the right hand side for Charlton. It's claimed by Jack Butland and hopefully we can build something. Bogle coming down the right hand side after receiving the ball from Jack Butland's throw in. He finds Jovalic. Is he going to find McAllister? He's on the edge. He takes a strike. It's out to Scott McTominay. It's bobbling about. We've just took it under our control and Baluta goes for goal and unfortunately goes just over. Highlight now, Anthony Knockyard with the corner. It falls to Tudor Baluta, who gets his 5th goal of the season. Assist by Dejan Jovalic. Came from a corner, I believe, from Anthony Knockyard. But we go 1-0 up inside 15 minutes. A decent start by us. We've started confidently. We'll see by the possession and the shooting stats that we are dominating the game. And Baluta's been fantastic for us this season in defensive midfield. I'm so glad he returned from his loan spell. And we were able to give him game time straight away. You know, if we'd stayed in the Premier League, although if we'd stayed in the Premier League, this series probably wouldn't be happening. But if we'd stayed in the Premier League, he's the sort of player who might have missed out a little bit, just not having enough quality to actually start in a Premier League side. But going down at the Championship and being able to give him all this game time has made him improve massively, and he's performed incredibly well. As there is another highlight, it looks like it's Charlton coming forward this time. Davies switches the play to Solly on the right hand side. Oh my days. Oh my, John Sutar. What in the heaven's name was that? I mean, I know you say this in real life. I'm aware of it. It happens. But, yeah, it's always a bit of a shock when it's your team. Solly, I mean, it's just completely no pressure on him whatsoever. And he decides to take it out of Jack Butland's hands. So, yeah, 1-1. God, I hear football managers sometimes. 30 minutes in. Come on, lads. Put us back in front. Scott McTominay on the ball. McAllister. Back to Scott. Billy. Switch the player, Billy. McAllister to Billy. Oh, we'll give the ball away and Fosu can come forward for Charlton. It looks like he's got the pace and he's got the dribbling attributes. He takes a strike on, but that was a poor strike. He probably should have brought the ball a bit further forward and knocked it back post for his teammate. But we're not playing well now. Suddenly. Isn't it funny how that happens? And there we are. Half time. Charlton 1, Brighton 1. Hugely disappointing to go in not in front. We are going to go attacking for the second half. We need a win. We don't need a win. I want a win. Only half an hour to go. Might as well make some substitutions. We'll get McAllister off and we'll bring Joshua Onoma on. We're going to get Dejan Joveljic off as well. We'll get Ben Woodburn on in his place. And there's a highlight as soon as we return. Is it actually a highlight or is it just came on? McAllister switches the play to Anthony Knockout on this right hand side. He drives forward. He's going to shoot. We've seen him put them away. But that was not a good strike. 15 minutes to go in this match. We'll look to make our final substitution of the game. Knockout's not having a great game, but I'm kind of reluctant to take him off, to be honest with you. Scott McTominay can come off for Bissouma. He was pretty good in the last game in terms of breaking up the play and giving us opportunities going forward. So maybe he might do the same again today, or maybe not. And it looks like that's going to be it for today's game, unless Charlton score right here. They're not going to score right here. Woodburn, come on, mate. You've got 2 to beat. Go on. Oh, he's not going to do it. They're coming back in numbers now. The referee's probably going to blow a full-time whistle on him. What a poor pass that was. And now we are full-time. Charlton 1, Brighton 1. You know, we'll go... Oh, why have I just said I'm happy with that performance? I'm not happy with that performance. But yeah, we'll go and beat Stoke City, who were in 3rd place. And then we go away to bottom place Charlton and we fail to win, which is hugely disappointing. But we are still looking great in terms of the league position. We are 17 points clear from Southampton, who must have lost a game, who are then themselves 5 points clear in from 2nd and 3rd. So we are 22 points clear from 3rd place Stoke City. It's not going to be long until we're guaranteed automatic promotion, mathematically anyway. So how many games are 15 games remaining so far? So if we win another 5 or so, I reckon it's game over. We're promoted automatically. When's the next episode going to be? It is going to be against Chelsea and Middlesbrough. So we're FA Cup 5th round, another huge tie against a Premier League team and Middlesbrough at home, who are currently in the playoffs. So that's going to be enough from me. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like. And if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.